Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. 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 The Foundation. The Foundation.
The Foundation of Heartcraft is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Welding and Fire, Bone for Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, ESC Distributors Limited, Grand Bahama News, Kelly's Home Center, the National Insurance Board, Popeyes, Ross Electric Motors, and the World Athletics World Relays.
The Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation. 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 The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation. It is a beautiful Monday morning, Monday afternoon, guys. Grateful to be in your company. I'm hoping that you are still here with us. If you're listening, if you can hear me, that means that you are in the land of the living with me. It is time to give praise, honor, and glory for the fact that we woke up this morning. I mean, sometimes we have a tendency to kind of get up, roll right over, hit the ground running. With our day, with our objectives, with being able to find out exactly where we are, how we can make some money, how we can make some things happen, and not being able to pause to be able to give a sort of gratitude necessary, right, to the supremacy that exists, to our God. Someone talk to me. It's a beautiful day. I'm grateful to be in your company, guys. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. Are we going to talk politics today? I'm sure that we will. It's a beautiful day. I want to be able to chop these things down. I'm expecting someone to come and sit with me. I'm not sure if they can be able to make it. I'm not absolutely certain. So I'm just going to be able to be patient as we're doing this. But before we go further, I got to be able to shout out my good, decent people, all those persons who continue to be able to sponsor us. I have to shout out Ellsworth Johnson for chairman of the Free National Movement. Ellsworth Johnson for chairman of the Free National Movement. All the information's in there. You're going to hear his commercials. He is excited about being able to talk about his passion, his ideas. On Saturday, we had a great opportunity to be able to speak with him. We had an interview with him, also very intimate opportunity to be able to find out a little bit more about him, his background, and what our expectations can be as he's moving forward. So Ellsworth Johnson for the Free National Movement's chairman. Also, re-elect Dwayne Sands for chairman of the Free National Movement. I want to thank Dwayne Sands in his particular capacity as chairman of the organization for affording us opportunity to be able to do a great deal. We had a very intimate conversation. It wasn't no cussing. Y'all just be as decent as possible, right? But it was a great conversation that we can be able to get back to the core and understanding how do we find true north and moving forward. Guys, look out for that conversation. Re-elect Dwayne Sands as chairman of the Free National Movement. So the information's in there. You're going to be able to hear his commercials. Also, we're going to roll that out. Guys, I am grateful. Got to shout out my good, decent people over at Da Vinci's Printing and Innovators. They got everything laid out for you. Make sure you check them out. They are located on the intersection of Village Road, Burnett Road, Wolf Road, Soldier Road, right there on the northern side in the plaza, in the Village Road Plaza. On the side of the bank, you could be able to see them. Da Vinci's Printing and Innovators. They got everything available for you. Got to shout them out. I'm hoping that you guys went down to Dr. E's book signing on Saturday. She had everything available. I'm sure that they have books available there also. Check them out at Da Vinci's Printing242.com, Da Vinci Printing242.com. They can be able to assist you in those areas that you want to be able to get those things taken care of. Got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out for you. Good morning to my good friend Ethric Bow and the entire team down there at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. If you're in the market for insurance, you're looking to be able to insure your jet skis, your livery, your taxis, all of those particular E's, even your leggies, please go down there to AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They can be able to assist you a great deal, right? If you're in the market, just get your place for SDs. They can be able to give you in-house financing. So you don't have to worry, but the cars were sitting in your yard, but you can't get, I don't know if I can afford the insurance, so forth and so on. Speak with them. They can be able to take very, very good care of you if that shipment came over from China for all those cars that you got over there. So I'm hoping that you guys are good. Big. Check them out, 3411-AFS, 3411-AFS. They got everything laid out for you. In the market, number 407 Blue Hill Road South, and they're open on Saturdays. So check them out in that stead. Guys, if you want to be able to be a part of what we're doing, 827-0111. Pick up a Guardian newspaper, right? The Guardian newspaper speaks specifically with clarity to these particular situations. I want to be able to shed light. I had an opportunity to be able to speak to Dr. Hubert Minnis on Saturday. And he shared some sentiments. Some you give, some you keep to yourself, and some you can be able to share. But this is something that he actually started to be able to speak and allude to with me when we started to speak on Saturday. He says, Minnis's camp lashes out, right? Claims unfair practices as leadership race nears. This is some information that he spoke about. I spoke to Michael Pintard on Saturday also, as I had a great opportunity to be able to sit down. Garth Roseborough and I had a great opportunity to be able to sit down at the F&M fair and raffle, right? It was a nostalgic event for me. If you don't know this, my history, this is where my family come from. My mother is a Free National, she was a member of parliament under the Free National Movement in 2007 for the constituency of 8 Mile Rock. So I know these people well. I know them long time. Right? I'll stop the song there. Stop it. You need to behave yourself. Get your life together. Right? You always sing them people is smart. You need to stop it. I know these people. So it was a nostalgic event for me. And for the very first time, I have identified a level of unity and synergy in the organization that I have not seen for a very long time. Right? As Pintard took on this kind of a posture to speak about the fact that he has this overarching vision and this door that's being opened to lend everyone to come in, right? You remember the song, Bring Them In, bring them in. I'm sure that's surrounding brothers, right? So he's opened up the doors of the Free National Movement beyond the fact to be able to say that we're going to convention, but kind of flung the doors open and spoke strategically and specifically, based upon what I'm seeing, based upon observation. There is a plan afoot. It's not articulated, but in the message it's wrapped in, it's baked in. You can see that the fringe organizations that are liberated, the fringe organizations that are looking for a way, a path, the fringe organizations that, for the most part, have broken off from the Free National Movement, looking for an opportunity of transparency, honesty, integrity, and this kind of a forward movement in the country. Those fringe organizations now, he's saying to them, come back home. Come back to the Free National Movement. Come back to this space. I want to be able to be very clear with you. Very clear with you. There are a great deal of people that I've seen from the Democratic National Alliance. Can I say this to you? From the Democratic National Alliance that have aligned themselves with not only the Free National Movement, but the Free National Movement under Michael C. Pintard's ruleship, his leadership. And I found that not necessarily, peculiar, but it was extremely interesting. That there is a prerequisite. In the event that he wins, this is what we will do. Right? Also, the BDM found themselves under the auspices and the wings and hoping for an opportunity to be able to serve not only with, but serve the FNM under the leadership of Michael Pintard. We also know that with clarity, Branville McCartney took on this kind of a position to say that I will join the Free National Movement in the event that Dr. Minnis is found victorious in this particular capacity. Now, we're hoping to be able to have both Michael and Wenwood sometime this week. Now, all the slots are full. Y'all don't fight me. Don't think, oh, he curry favor. He liked this one. He chose that one. No. These slots have been taken for some time. And so I'll do my best to reconfirm with you. If you're out there and you're listening to me, we have to confirm your slot. You're not going to have the slot hanging without being able to say confirm at this particular time. We've confirmed Dwayne Sands. We've confirmed Ellsworth Johnson. We're waiting for a confirmation from Michael Pintard. We're waiting for a confirmation from Dr. Minnis. Dr. Minnis actually confirmed Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. Right? So we're waiting for a confirmation from these particular persons so we could know the slots that we have available and present those things to persons. We are booked up. Y'all don't fight me. This is going to be the last stretch to have good conversations about politics, about where we are and where we're going to be able to go. And the only reason that this is any significant attraction and persons actually gravitating to have these kind of conversations is because I think that the country yearns this. Can I say that? Can we talk like this? The country is desirous. There is a yearning, almost an unquenchable desire that has not been able to. You ever been thirsty, and you're drinking, but you can't get that quenchable. It's you're not quenched, right? You can't hit that. That's not quench. I think that the country has been consuming a great deal of politicians over the course of 20 years, but yet haven't been satisfied. We're still not quenched. Our desire, our yearning for transparency, integrity, vision, focus, commitment, that rally and that unification, that bringing it back has not been quenched. And this is an interesting time in the country. This is interesting. The Free National Movement has opened its doors, said that it's going to a convention come June 1st. And this is the only time, and I said this to leadership quietly, I said it publicly, and I need you to understand that we will not have another opportunity. We will not have another opportunity to scrutinize leadership in the Free National Movement or any other organization other than this time of vulnerability. This time of meekness, this time of an unsettled position because you don't know whether or not you could retain the position or whether or not you're going to attain the position. So this humility that sits here, that they have to grapple with for 1 month until June 1st, that humility that sits there, we got to take full advantage of that. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? We got to take full advantage of that. we got to scrutinize that and identify whether or not the elements that we've identified, the elements that we've called for, that we yearn to see, the elements such as integrity, such as honesty, such as this bar that existed one time ago in this country, is it going to be able to come back under this ruleship, under this leadership of Michael Pintard? Had a very interesting conversation. And guys, you got to check me out, thefoundation242.com, thefoundation242.com, thefoundation242 on Facebook. You can be able to see a live. We went absolutely live on Saturday. We was there 4 hours. We had an opportunity to talk to Travis Robinson. We talked to John Pinder. We talked to Lincoln Deal. We talked to Mandel Miller. We talked to leadership, Michael Pintard. We talked to Shannon Cartwright. We talked to Dwayne Sands, right? We had great conversations. If you listen to it, people was cussing in the background. Oh, this one is a damn liar, right? This was an exciting time. And through it all, even though they were indifferent, whether or not they supported Dwayne Sands or supported Michael Pintard, there was an electric feeling in the environment. Can I say that? This is not about the FNM. This is about the fact that they've opened the doors to this kind of a space. And so now we get an opportunity to be able to peek in to find out that they have this unity. Man, listen to me. The grill was going. All my clothes smelled smoky. All my equipment, everything that we had out there, it smoked right up. It smelled like jerk chicken and pulled pork or whatever the case may be. But we were out there and it was a beautiful time. I want to be able to see that time reemerge in politics in this country. That Dr. Dwayne Sands takes on this position to talk about the fact that politics is a blood sport. But I believe with maturity that it doesn't necessarily have to come to blows and to blood. I think that we can be able to have a very clear understanding and make these assessments about what's good for us based upon where we are and where we're going. And that's all this is. This conversation is to decipher whether or not these men, whether it's Dr. Hubert Minnis or whether it is Michael Pintard, that has the wherewithal to take not only the Free National Movement, but potentially the Bahamas to a place of growth and development, to a place that we can be able to remind ourselves of our strengths again. That's all this is. This scrutiny, this hell, this back and forth, this pushing, this indifference, this why y'all don't like me, this is only to find out whether or not you have the strength to take us. Because whatever we levy at you in the media ain't nothing compared to the docket that will roll out after June 1st about you. As we move to the next general election, whenever that may be, what is going to roll out about the leadership that has been chosen in the Free National Movement is going to blow your mind. Some of the things are going to be smoke, and some of these things are going to be fire. And wherever the smoke may be, the fire ain't far. That's what Grammy tell me. But we're going to see a great deal of things. This scrutiny ain't nothing to talk about. And I'm glad that we could have these kind of transparent conversations. Guys, I want you to join me in conversation to talk about this just a little bit more. A lot of persons cussing me out saying, oh, Howard, yeah, that's all you want to talk about? Yeah, join me in conversation to do that a little bit more. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family violence, 242-300-5720, or hit me up 422-4796. We're going to take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. Over Twin Sons, FNM. Woo! He won't get them FNM, say get them Sons. You just gotta love the way he take a stand. This is serious business with big demands. Moving forward stronger, yeah, he's the man. He is Mr. Chair, nobody can compare. So since more than your name called, does he belong right there? Get them Sands, show them how you just do it.
My name is Dwayne Sands. I'm vying for the chairmanship of the Free National Movement. So to all the delegates, vote for me on June 1st. I'm applying for an extension of my contract.
Get them Sands, oh, get them
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion. Located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Fellow FNMs, this is Ellsworth Johnson. Right now, our party stands at a critical crossroads. It's time to revisit our roots as an organization and continue to follow the path of accountability, political integrity, conviction, and courage. We must reject the skewed narratives about our future told by outsiders. As your chairman, I will ensure that our choices reflect the true spirit of the FNM, bold, principled, and forward-looking. Together, we'll strengthen our party and prepare to lead the Bahamas with the governance it rightly deserves. Stand with me. Vote Ellsworth Johnson on June 1st as we reignite the fires of the freedom fighters and governments in the sunshine. I thank you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation. Beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Joining me in the studio is none other than Garth Roseborough. Garth, it is wonderful to see you, my brother. We spoke this morning. You said, my God, Howard, I got to get dressed to come to the studio. And you found all your red attire. He got red socks on. My God, is that the red ruby slippers? Are you Dorothy, my brother? You're going hard today. Talk to me.
Man, I told you the first thing on the top of my drawer was red.
You need to stop it.
Everything under that.
You're doing a lot.
Then I had some blue. Then I had some yellow. So, today just happens to be a red day. But, on my way here, I was stopped along the way. And I want to share this with you. You ever watch the movie Smile Orange?
No, I never watched that.
You never watched
Smile Orange?
Smile Orange. Go and look that up, man.
I can look
Orange. Smile Orange, man. You see these folks.
Who is it? Who?
Man, this is back from the songwriter.
It sounds like in the 60s. It sounds like an older movie.
Like Jimmy Cliff.
Okay. I go watch it.
Jimmy Cliff, right? But they was walking all the way from the country to town. Literally walking in the hot sun, right? And so I'm coming from home. And there's a lady, she looks Bahamian, she speaks Bahamian, and her face is all wrenched up, Howard. So I realized that she's walking from the airport, possibly coming in from the family island. So I stopped my vehicle. I didn't want to. I said, man, I got to stop trying to help too much people. I got to get to the studio. I stopped and I asked the lady, ma'am, are you okay? She says, no, I ain't okay. Say, I come all the way here and ain't no ride. And I said, okay, ma'am. She said, now listen to me. I ain't got no taxi money and I ain't got no other money. I said, okay, ma'am. So where in town are you going? No, where you going? But I politely pulled off. I was too much talk because I had to get to the I'm here now. And so
you need the woman there?
I had to. Jesus God. She seemed, I don't know. I don't understand.
Tell this whole story and leave the woman.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I'm stopping to offer you a ride. No money involved. And you want to know where. I already asked you where you're going. And you want to insist on it.
They didn't help but you on Nassau fellas, They could just jump in any car.
Yeah, but it's hot. You know how hot it is in the Bahamas right now? It is hot out there. And this is a hot Monday. We just had a great Saturday. I think it was a great Saturday.
Didn't we have a good time?
You really had a good time.
I enjoyed that.
You were in your colorful floral outfit, man. You was going.
I make sure I don't put no red in that.
Family members was walking around. You, hey, sexy, hey, cousin.
Ain't no sexy now. You need to stop before you get me stopped today.
Your wife walked by.
Oh yeah. I told her.
I don't know.
She bring all the kids out. Shout out to Fox. Fox had a kitty corner. It was absolutely beautiful. It
was a family day.
It was a beautiful time.
I saw Remmett Wilson, but his 5 or 6 of his kids, they were all out there.
Yeah.
You know,
and his wife,
Brian Brown. You know, I was a little kind of cross a little bit with him. That's my cousin.
That's your cousin. That's my cousin.
Yeah, but the
guys, go look back at the footage that we did on Saturday. This man was talking while I was on the camera. He introducing his cousins. How this one? Because sir, we are live on camera. What are you doing, right? He's talking to people that he hadn't seen. Who's your grandchild? Cindy Collins jumped up and said,
"Yeah, that's the cousin.
That's your cousin. That's your cousin.
It's my cousin.
All these cousin.
Yeah, but they've never seen me. Some of them never met me, but now they know that.
You know, I know these people, right?
Yeah, of course you do.
I know.
But then your cousins and family stopping by. It was a family day.
Yeah,
it was a big reunion. Yeah. And Brian Brown had this chicken and ribs and everything just coming right in your booth. You put your booth right behind the grill.
I didn't know that was gonna be the grill.
My Jesus, man! I sitting there hungry as hell, and I look at all this chicken. So thanks to Miss Patrice and Brian Brown.
Yeah, Patrice is my cousin too. Patrice from family. I told you this.
God Almighty.
Patrice from family.
Boy, she robbed me all day, all morning. She was robbing, but she all right now. That chicken was off the chain.
Yeah.
So
I tell her, make sure get you straight.
Golden Hours constituency. Thank you so much for that. It was wonderful. It was good to see all the booths represented. I know 1 or 2 are missing, like South Andros, but it was a full day. And guess what? The crowd was consistent all day long.
Shout out to my girl. She brought me a beautiful plate with some grits and peas and grits.
That's what you had, peas and grits with
I had
fish?
peas and grits, plantain, and fish. I told you.
You had fritters too.
I had fritters also, but the fritters came from being in Grandtown.
Now that corn,
and the corn that we had.
That corn is something else, but that corn, that put a number on me. That was some good corn, but boy.
It was a nostalgic event. It's the first time that we've seen the Free National Movement in this sort of they're not contentious, they're not fighting, even though that there was indifference that existed in this particular space. What I found peculiar, more specifically, Golden Hours, because we was close to Golden Hours, their shirts were, this is Golden Hours, but it was still unstoppable.
Oh yeah, it was unstoppable.
Everything was unstoppable.
Everything was.
There were a few persons who had their commitment to menace, and they wasn't afraid to show you that sort of commitment. And there was no contention. There was just, hey, listen, after June 1st, when we then cut you behind on June 1st, we want unity in the organization still, right?
Listen.
And so I had a good opportunity. I had a great chance, man.
You got there and you set up shop, and the crowd just continued to surround the booth to engage the foundation.
Jacob was selling something.
Yeah, it was just around the foundation. Like you said, my family came and sat down next to me as if we were in the living room. But it was just that type of atmosphere. It was hot.
It's going to be on Friday also. On Saturday this week also. On Saturday of this week.
Tell us what's happening on Saturday.
On Saturday of this week, we are going live from the FNM convention. We're going to go live again on our Facebook page. We're going to have that pre-analysis and post-analysis. So we're going to be interviewing some persons. If you check us out, we're going to be sitting there and interviewing persons before the show. So having conversations up to that. Then we're going to go shoot live right from their box. We're going to shoot everything live, and you can be able to see that. So we give that commentary at the beginning and at the end of everything. So various persons who wants to be able to come up and have good conversations with us, we'll be able to do that. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all those things that we can be able to offer at the time.
But let me just say this for those who are Christian believers. When Jesus was on the cross, he said he was thirsty. They gave him some vinegar to drink. But when I was thirsty, Howard Grant brought me a red cup. It wasn't blue. It wasn't gold. It wasn't green. It was red. It was a red.
That's the color of the cups. You need to stop it. You're doing way too much, right? You're doing way too much, right? But everything was in there.
Yeah. We had a great time. The conversations were awesome. I liked the kiddie section. All the kids were there playing, and there were some people who were not dressed in paraphernalia. But of course, like I said, everyone was fully engaged. It was just an exciting time, and I just totally enjoyed it, Howard Grant. I think everyone did an exceptional job. So I want to give a shout out of respect to those who actually put that event together. I think they did a fine job in setting it up, and thank you once again for hosting Howard Grant and the foundation.
I'm hoping that the PLP is watching, because
you don't have to hope if they watch it.
We don't play sides.
No. You don't.
When it's your time, call me. We will do the same thing for you.
Listen to me, Howard.
I would love to be there.
You know how I know the PLP was watching?
Situation.
You know how I know they were watching?
I would love that.
I know they were watching. You know how I know they were watching?
They call you.
No. If the Seventh-day Adventist was watching on Saturday,
you are wildly out, sir. Not on the Sabbath.
The Seventh-day Adventist pastor called me and said, well, I see you on TV. So I don't know what you're talking about, but Bahamian people love politics. They just love politics. It's just something that they enjoy, even in their relaxation. Politics is the conversation of the day. So Howard Grant, people say, oh, y'all talk a lot of politics on the foundation, but the truth be told is that what the foundation is attempting to achieve is where politics meets the family. You know, we're trying to bridge that gap so that politics can now make sense. It cannot be a one-sided conversation. It has to be a balanced conversation where you and your family members are involved in building this nation.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that we could convey those sentiments with strength. I'm hoping that persons recognize that this is not just the sensationalize the concept of being able to find some, some theme, some line, some course to be able to bring to you today, just fodder to fill the space that we have here at the station. The truth is that we want to be able to find a solution. Can I say that? A solution. I believe that we've had, significant concerns about the New Day administration, not in a bad way. Right, but the concerns are whether or not we're on the right course, right? Based upon perception, and we've learned that perception could be one thing, but the reality as we get closer can be able to really blossom into something that we didn't know. Okay, so from the purposes of perception, right? As we're looking at the New Day administration, they're absorbing media into their fold. They're seeking to be able to create a narrative strategically to be able to focus on. The Prime Minister has taken on a very strong position to be able to speak with this kind of a passionate position about what's happening with global warming and climate change and so forth and so on, whilst we have not really articulated with strength and fortitude what we're going to be able to do for the young people, for the youth, for those persons who are disenfranchised, for those persons who didn't come out to vote, for those persons who, from an economic standpoint, they don't have these things. We're looking for a solution that says this is the avenue that we have to travel. I've spoken to this before. Right. The fact that this time and era calls for something a little bit different.
Yeah, and I think you've said it once again on a previous show, that Bahamian people love new things. The new things that they love, apparently there is a growing attraction towards Michael C. Pintard at this time. Before I felt he was dormant, I felt he was weak.
I want to talk to you about
that. But I see a strengthening factor because now we're watching organizations now coming on board.
What did you observe between Michael C. Pintard? Okay, so Michael Pintard showed up. We sat there. We saw him show up.
Let's give it time. He showed up somewhere around 3, 4 o'clock.
3, 4 o'clock.
Yes,
right? Big contingent following him.
Oh, those I wanted to say sucker fish, but you got some people in these political parties, the minute the leader shows up, they got to go and gravitate right to them. They circle them and they surround them and they form this big entourage and, hey, Mr. Leader, I'm here. But that actually happened. That whole novelty, celebrity type thing happened. As soon as he arrived, he was just engulfed by people from everywhere, from every side of that campground. And they said, oh, here we go again. Like they said in the Bible, who's going to sit on the left side, who's going to sit on the right side? But Michael Pintard, almost in my eyes, I could be wrong, but every turn, every cranny seemed humble. It was a very humble Michael Pintard who was reaching out, allowing people to take pictures with him, allowing people to embrace him, to hug him, to shake his hand. That is one of the attributes that we can say makes a great leader.
I reached out to Dr. Minnis while I was sitting there having conversation. You and I were talking, and I said to him around 4 o'clock, "Are you coming out?"
He did. We almost thought we saw him earlier.
I texted him. I said, "Are you coming out?"
I think he drove through and left. I don't know if that was true.
Somebody called me and said, "Howard, he was here, but he left." Right?
Yes.
So I said, "No." So I texted him. I said, "Are you coming? Are you coming out?" And he texted me back, and he said to me that he had an event, so he couldn't show up. He showed up at 7 o'clock, but we had scheduled to be able to kind of go off live because we were there for the entire day.
Yes.
To go off live during this particular time, so we did not have an opportunity to be able to interview him. For the persons who are watching and looking in that seem unbalanced, it had nothing to do with me. I have presented this to all and sundry, including Ellsworth Johnson, who was out there, but he says, "Howard, I'm going to make some rounds." I did a separate interview for both Ellsworth Johnson and Dwayne Sands just to be able to say I'm balanced.
I just need people to know that. I want to be as balanced as possible. Dr. Minnis is going to be sitting with us on Thursday.
Thursday?
He said,
Who's
I'm at an event, an opening at a facility. It says he's the speaker and he won't arrive until 7 p.m. Unfortunately, we were unable to capture him. I wanted to have that kind of a conversation because a lot of persons would have been able to speak about that. And whilst we were sitting out there, we found out some information that we weren't privy to.
So when they said that Dr. Minnis is here, and then the rain started to fall at the same time, what does that mean? You people who have dreams and
superstitious people. You got to
talk to the
You got to ask Fred Mitchell to look in the.
Tell them call.
Ask Fred Mitchell which dream book to look in.
Yeah, tell them to call and that's what that means. I don't know what that means, but as soon as they said he arrived, the rain came down. So if you're listening to Howard Grant today and the foundation, Howard's going to give those numbers out to you again, and please call in, man. Let's get into this conversation of a building free national movement. Does that mean that the PLP is diminishing right now? Are people now looking for yet another? What does this now tell us in the political world?
We have put significant fire behind Michael Pintard. We have, you and I and others in the media. Loretta, with her pronouncements as she spoke as the guest speaker to an event that she had, I think it was in Killarney, and actually spoke to the fact that Pintard is not a unifier and not been able to bring a lot of people into the organization and so forth and so on. We've had these conversations. We've talked about it. Why hasn't persons moved into the organization since he was sitting there? And Saturday, or leading up to Saturday, showed us something entirely different. It showed us something entirely different. Like I said, before you came, even while you sat with me, and I was interviewing him and we were having conversations with him, he extended an invitation to you.
And
he said, no. It was an invitation that he extended to you, that it was a strategic invitation. It wasn't just Garth Roseborough. It was Garth Roseborough, the leader of your organization. What's your organization?
The PNC.
The PNC. The leader of the PNC, the fringe organization who would have had these aspirations to move on a specific, I tell you, this man of a plan.
Is it a good plan?
Well, you see Cassius.
I see you wearing red pants and pink shirt today too. You talking about my red? Look at you wearing red.
This is called,
coming over?
It's called burgundy, right? So watch me. I see Cassius Stewart. I see Arinthia Komalafe, which both came after 7. They pop right up when the man pulled the plug, right?
They did.
The man just pulled the plug, boop, and they pop up. Mm-hmm. I saw that.
She was there. She was there at the. I think the torch bearers tent dunking the young executives. That's where she was.
Okay, so I saw Arinthia. I saw Cassie. Cassius came by my store. Cassius spent 45 minutes with me with no cameras. We stood there the entire time after you left in the rain.
Did he want to go
I had almost 25 people under my tent in the rain.
Yeah, because I called you.
And I couldn't talk to you because everybody was there, including Dr. Hubert Minnis.
Under your tent?
Under my tent.
You had a big tent?
Yeah.
Have mercy.
Including,
your tent was attractive, by the way.
Including,
you did a great job setting it up, and you had a little palm
rug and everything like that. Yeah. Make it sexy, right?
You had a little cooler in the back with some water and some
libations for those who do that, right?
Some holy water.
So I set it up in a particular manner to ensure that everyone could be comfortable, right?
You did.
On Saturday, I'll have 2 couches. So I'm going to bring some couches out. It's going to be sexy. I'm going to do the thing, right? So I've created this particular space. And through it all, we've identified some things. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
I want to talk to you about some stuff. I recognize Michael Pintard's concept.
You picked up on it.
I picked up on it when I sitting on the side of him and he extended an invitation to you. And I said, well, Jesus, I used to F&M. I used to be F&M. You ain't say that to me yet.
I ain't nobody, Howard.
No. You ain't see what I saw.
Yeah, but I saw it. But
it was for your movement. It was to identify those people who have various movement, to amalgamate your strengths and passion under not only his leadership, but a newfound unstoppable F&M. Unstoppable together.
But guess what?
Blew my mind.
But guess what, though? I like it.
Of course I like it. That's strategy.
I like it because the PLP
we talked and said we didn't see his strategy.
The PLP came out. They recruited everybody, the grandma, the great-grandchildren, everybody they recruited. You can't recruit everybody.
Historically, the PLP has never, has not. Okay, so minus BJ Nordist, and organizations that like that, but they came out of the PLP. Historically, the PLP doesn't necessarily open its arms to fringe organizations. That's the Free National Movement.
Would you call it arrogance?
Not necessarily arrogance. I want to identify it as
confidence?
Politically stiff-necked. They are quote unquote old dogs. Remember Ogami say, old dog, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
But is that wise in 2024?
Their wisdom is to no effect at this particular time. They reside within tradition as opposed to wisdom. Right? And the tradition of the organization said that this is the course. Let me see if I can take this telephone call before we get out of here. Caller on the line, go ahead. Go ahead, caller, you on the line?
Mr. Grun.
Hey, how you doing?
Radio. Mr. Dwayne Sons, political speaking, he couldn't beat Miss Corey Davis for Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to run over Elbert Johnson like a Mack truck. Because he's short of Johnson. And as I listen to your buttering up Mr. Pintad and saying the people like Newton, how could someone like a Newton, when a person being around? Man, come on, we educated people. When a person being around from that time, what you call new? What is the track record of Mr. Pintad? What major thing that he have done in his consistency? If you're saying his track record, those that we see trying to come in the party, let me tell you something. We know their track record here. Mr. Stewart, we know them. And everybody are trying to run on this bandwagon now, but even that they going to get a play, there's no candy in the bag for them. They will only support at this time, but when the real thing comes, they get nothing to get. So they can afford to talk about new thing, and they can afford to beat up and talk. Ain't nothing happen. Even for your guest, even who right there, nothing is going to happen for him. Thank you.
So
you're going quick on that one.
I wonder why he
chose his blow and run.
Yeah, he can throw his blow as he wants, but you see, in his conversation, he has to remember one thing: the very people who you say get nothing, the very people you say are nothing, the very people you say can contribute nothing, and they will not have an opportunity to do anything. When 2026 comes around, you will need something from those very same people if you are to be victorious. And so if you continue with this cocky attitude that you have, this arrogant attitude that you're not going to be inclusive of other individuals based on their talents, based on what they have to offer, you will find yourself in utter defeat.
Guys, well, you know what we got to do. We got to take this commercial break. When we get back on the other side, please join the conversation. We're talking about politics. We're talking about where we are. You're going to get a few more days of this. When we're going to be done June 1st on the 4th or so. We'll have good on the 3rd. We'll have good conversations about who won, and we're going to get back to issues more specifically and, issues at large in the country. So, quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Here's to the go-getters, the early risers, and the late-night dreamers. You, the visionaries, painting futures in your mind, in your studio, your office, your sacred space. Here's to the adventurers, explorers of every realm. To you, the innovators, turning the cogs of progress. In a world where connection is a lifeline, a pathway to possibilities. Alive is the perfect connection for everyone, every lifestyle, every day.
Visit BeAlive.com today.
The new Guardian Radio app is here. Listen live to all our Guardian Radio shows and live video stream select programs in our studio. Get information about Guardian Radio shows and our hosts. Send messages, including text, email, and even call. All from our amazing new Guardian Radio app. Download it free today in your App Store for your Apple device or Play Store for your Android device. The all-new and improved Guardian Radio app.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic, and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the Foundation. It is a beautiful Monday. I'm a little overcast today. I'm grateful for the fact that the scorching sun is not upon our backs, as though we're out in the fields and getting whipped and being able to get 1,500 pounds of cotton. It's too much, my God. So I'm grateful for that. I don't know what you guys did over the weekend, whether or not you went to the beach or what you did, but my family and I, well, me more specifically, I drag my family out there. I say, come. If Daddy working, everybody working, right? So we went out there and had a great time at the Free National Movement's fair and raffle, right? So we had a wonderful time, had a great time. The Foundation, we did a podcast and we went live for a few hours. Well, we had a beautiful time. Garth Roseborough joined me, and he's here in the studio with me again today, being able to talk about these things, and I'm grateful to kind of do that. Guys, the lines are open if you want to be able to do that. The numbers are there, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796 on the text. Now, before I say call on the line, let me read this quickly, right, in the papers. Minnis says that he's unbothered by lack of support from former cabinet ministers. I think this is peculiar. Okay, I think this is peculiar. I just want to be decent as I say this. I can read it for you.
Why you feel that?
Watch what I can read.
Read it then.
Okay, I can read it.
You can read it.
I can read it.
Okay, read.
I can read on Mondays.
Read straight.
All right, I can read on Mondays.
Don't hide nothing.
I ain't gonna hide nothing.
Verbatim.
In the paper.
Okay.
Okay, so Rachel Scott put the stuff together. Read it in the papers, guys. Pick up the papers. It's right there. It said, with the Free National Movement convention only days away, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis said that on Saturday he is unbothered by how many of his cabinet ministers are supporting Michael Pintard, the party's current leader in the leadership race. And this is what he goes on and says. He said, that's the beauty of democracy. He said that, you have to listen to all of this. He says, that's the beauty of democracy. Said Minnis on the sidelines at the opening of the Chiropractic and Physical Therapy Center. You could be with me today and someone else tomorrow. That don't affect me. I stay focused. I know where I want to go. I just want to read it like this. Is that okay? I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do for the young people. I know what I do for the population. I know what I want to do for the country. I keep in mind that's my focus. The others are just deterrents.
Oh, Lord.
That's what's peculiar about it.
Oh.
What's peculiar is that through it all, through the relentless posture and position of society being able to scream at Minnis for inclusion, being able to, because after his Jerome Sawyer interview, which I thought was a very good interview, right? I thought it was a sort of a vulnerable moment for him, especially being able to step out of the competent authority concept and being able to touch people the way that he has. I thought it was a good interview, right? But what persons gathered from that, and they spoke to us here on the radio, and you know what they said to me when they gave me a call is that, yeah, but Minnis still saying, what I want to do, I believe in second term, I believe. That's what came out of his interview with Jerome Sawyer. Now, today, as we tear the paper open to have conversations about what's been happening over the weekend, persons are still indifferent of who they're going to support in the organization. They have almost 800 delegates, and a lot of persons haven't committed their support to one person or another. Minnis has come back again and still hit us with that.
Aye. Dictatorial aye. And it was the
Now, for me, if I was his consultant in media, I would say to him, Minnis, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, don't you say I.
We will.
Don't you say I for the next 30 days. I told him that. Don't you say I nothing for the next 30 days. If your eye scratch, say cornea. Don't even say I.
That is a very, very terrible word to use at this particular time.
Not because it's a bad word to use, because it has been identified by the people who are watching that it seems like you're still amplifying your posture and position.
Yes.
If Howard Grant was in the position that I had to be able to provide that advice to him based upon what I'm hearing from a social standpoint, I would say to him, do not use the word I going forward. Let me take a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good day, Mr. Howard.
Hey, how you doing, my dear?
I'm fine, thank you, and good day, Mr. Goff.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Listen, the gentleman that called before break, they're talking about the record of Mr. Pintard, what record is he running on? Mr. Goff, I would rather you, because Mr. Howard is too politically correct in some points, and then some parts, he's very, very diplomatic. Could you please tell me the record of the now Mr. Prime Minister, please, that he ran on?
I knew someone was going to call in and say that. I knew
Yeah, because if you're judging a man by a record, you understand me, who only sat in the cabinet, was never deputy prime minister to anything that happened, positive or negative. Well, positive, not negative. But in anything that happened at all in the country during the time that he sat there, for the length of time that he sat there, can you please, sir, Mr. God, Mr. Howard, we love you, but not you this time.
Okay, please
tell us. You're too diplomatic, Mr. Howard.
I can be diplomatic.
Tell us, what is the record of the now sitting prime minister that he ran on, and a few others. Because I don't understand that. Because how can you gauge me for something? I'm trying my hand to show you what I can or cannot do. I did not say I in almost every subject that I had in school.
Oh, I love you. I love you. You just, that's all I could say. I can say, I love you. Is that okay to say I, or should I say we love you?
She gone.
That's how it. He now would say it better. He's more diplomatic with that.
So you want me to come in now? You give me space now? You want me to say something? All right, let me say. I can say, right? The Prime Minister, the PRP had a very strong campaign. This is the diplomacy that she talks about. I got to be decent at the onset. The PRP had a very strong campaign where we didn't even believe that they're going to be prepared when the Prime Minister came out and said that the House is being prorogued, and they started to have a conversation about election. Bop! Instantaneously, the PLP campaign rolled out. It's a new day. Boom! And as they rolled out this New Day campaign, I think we were so engulfed with this concept and idea of a campaign, because the PLP campaign is the hardest campaign in the land. I might as well tell you the truth. It's the hardest campaign in the land. They know how to reach the grassroots, and they have always done it, whether it's We Believe. The only unsuccessful campaign that they've had over the course of time that I've seen in terms of trying to vie for leadership is the Freshman campaign, 2002. That was in the Freshman campaign was strong. The 2007 was in a good one, right? So I say that to say, watch this. They forgot to mention to us about when Bamsey burned down. They forgot to mention to us.
Is it memorable?
That is absolutely memorable.
How so?
Because they didn't have any insurance, and this is what he had tenure over. This is what he had his authority to be able to identify and ensure that there's all these particular things.
I keep telling you, but
that's his record.
Yeah, but I keep telling you about being decent.
This is his record.
How much Bahamian people got insurance?
See, you're missing my point.
No, I'm missing your point. You do something that's memorable. Nobody care about you with insurance.
Bahamian people don't have insurance on their house because one, it may have been built on generation property.
Okay.
And two, they ain't got no money.
Okay.
It ain't like we don't want to pay the insurance.
So why would the PLP government not have money to insure Bamsey?
It ain't that they didn't have the money.
You sure they had it?
Of course they had the money.
So why wasn't it insured?
Now, see,
you want me to make this man a hero over something they should have done?
This is not a hero. I'm talking about the current Prime Minister.
Make it memorable?
We're talking about the current Prime Minister's issue. Now, you remember when I asked C. Allen, and when you call C. Allen, it wasted CNP choose 4 times. You can call it.
Our friend calls me and you fight it.
Yeah, no. When we asked C. Allen, what will be Michael's... Okay, so the FNM, for the most part, with coming out into the public, having a decent campaign, for the most part. Now, I understand that there is nastiness and viciousness going directly to certain delegates who are voting, starting to talk about Michael Pintard and being able to talk about... So the allegations that exist on the inside ain't spit on the outside.
Okay,
that ain't my business.
Now, let's get back to Brave. I entered this Brave and Bamsey and no insurance, and get back to that.
I try to be able to talk to you about record.
Yeah, go straight.
Michael Pintard has been strong to be able to talk about his record in not only Marco City, but his position, what he's taken and what he's been doing as the Minister of Agriculture. We had a great opportunity to be able to speak to Mr. Kevin Carroll. Mr. Kevin Carroll, you know that. We had a great, and we started to talk about more specifically about the record that he held within.
So we know about their record. Let's talk about Brave and that insurance and that Bamsey man.
I'm trying to tell you, despite his record, he's still victorious.
How?
He's the prime. What do you mean? How the hell do you mean how? He's the Prime Minister now.
No, he's the Prime Minister entitled, but he ain't the Prime Minister of our country.
Man, come stop it.
The man ain't here. The man ain't never here.
Sir,
listen to me, man. You could be you could have the title daddy.
If you was in the United States of America,
you could have the title daddy, and guess what happened? Sir, you ain't never home.
That don't make no difference. You still daddy.
Man, daddy don't mean
you could be married and deployed. You are still husband. 850,000 miles away.
Okay, what's the job of a daddy? Let me hear this.
We ain't worrying but that. We worrying but the title now. He has the title and the seat. And we're asking, how did he get the title and the seat despite his record?
So why you marrying a man say he's the Prime Minister of Abaco?
Because he never earned that title.
He got the title. He say, I got the title,
There's only one Prime Minister in this country.
He says the title of Abaco. He didn't say the country. I'm the
and victimization will let you know that with strength. Let's be decent. Let me take a next telephone call. Call on the telephone line. Go ahead, right?
Yes, good afternoon, Howard.
Good afternoon. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, everything all right, man. Yeah, Howard, I mean, like you said earlier, when this thing go down, when the political thing finishes, you can get back to like current events and things. That'd be good because boy, this politics been going on a little while.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say was that if either one of you gentlemen, after listening to you all on the radio, right? I mean, and if either one of you all join a major political party, right? I mean, I'll be disappointed in you all because for one, you all should know that your personal ideas is nothing when you join a party because you got a toe party line, right? So I mean, I'll be disappointed, especially in God, because God seems to be a man who has like something to offer the public. You know, God has some skills that He could teach individuals that they could take right away and readily take and go and make some money from. You know, and I appreciate that with God, and I feel as if it'll be a waste for him to go and join a party where he'll be probably distracted from what he has to do and unable to fulfill certain things. But see, the reason why I don't really have no respect for political parties, Howard, is because they really don't come with anything to really offer the public, really and truly. And let me give you a quick example. During the last election period, I was out somewhere. I gave a certain political party a call and tell them I was coming from. I was in a particular area. I told them I was coming from this area. So I guess since the area they put as a money person or something. But when I reached there, and I guess they saw me, they judged me, and they ushered the leader right past me. And I watched them usher the leader past me. And when I saw that, I was like, well, I mean, I was a man. I ain't looking for no friends. I didn't care. You know what I mean? But it showed me where their heart and where their mind was because they were judging me. And I mean, I'm a Bahamian. I mean, I'm a person who comes that you can at least come and see what I have to say. So when I went inside and I spoke to one of the gentlemen who were in there, and I showed them what I have. And then I showed them I come to show them, right? And while I was having a conversation, I was like, boss man, I say, you see? I say, me as an individual, right, has more to offer the Bahamian public than all of the political parties put together. And the man agreed with me. And to further that point, before I left, he asked me if I was willing to run. I tell him no. I said, the only place I can run is out of here and back to my car, and I roll it out. You understand? But I was trying to show you that, see, me as an individual had more and still have more to offer this public than the political parties put together because they don't really come with anything. You understand where I'm coming from? And so I know that the political parties over here are joking, Howard. And like I said before, if God, especially God, I mean, after I hear him talk about these things and how he know political parties run and stuff like that, right? And I mean, I can understand him being a little, probably a little bit upset because he is seeing individuals who are less qualified than him get opportunities that he knows that his merit qualifies him to be than them. And so, and probably you too, Howard. And I mean, and that should further cement in your thinking that is something or an organization you all don't want to be a part of. That does not respect merit, but that anybody through favoritism or whatever else could come and get a spot.
Do you believe that this is how politics always was? Do you believe that this is the nature and the development and the concept and the idea of why politics exists in our country?
Yeah, the reason why, or the reason why politics exists anywhere is the reason why it was created. You understand? and politics from creation, from his conception. If you go back and study the Greek stuff and stuff, you will see that Socrates had a problem with it because politics was never designed to help the people. It was always something designed to manipulate people. Am I still on? I hear this beeping.
No, you're still on. You're still on here with me. So you believe that this was designed strategically for manipulation, not necessarily for...
And that's what Socrates was warning about. He was warning that in order for the type of system to work, that the people had to be properly educated and critical thinkers. Otherwise, they could easily be manipulated by individuals, and that's exactly what's going on right now. Politics was never designed to help the people. It was always designed to keep them in a certain state.
So you believe do you believe that our Constitution is a blueprint for manipulation?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy that you said that.
The entire system.
Do you believe the Constitution? Okay, I can get the deep conversation. I identify the Word of God as the Constitution of our responsibility to the supremacy that exists. That's how I look at it. This is the Constitution. That this is the principle of how we move to align ourselves. So, do you believe that the Word of God, which is the Constitution of God, is also created to manipulate you to move in a particular direction?
I'm a bit confused. You're trying to
No. I don't want confuse you.
When you say the Word of God,
Let me fix it.
Are you
interchanging
the Constitution as the Word of God? Or what
every Constitution is a foundational principle for direction.
Yes,
that's it.
Yes, I agree with that.
Every Constitution, you often hear me say that the Constitution, you cannot be corrupted. This is the Constitution collectively of a path that was supposed to happen, a genuine path for growth and development. The Constitution of the PLP, it cannot be corrupted. The Constitution of the FNM, the Constitution of the Word of God. I asked you whether or not you believe that the Constitution of the Bahamas is a constitution designed to be able to lead people towards manipulation.
Yes, sir.
That cannot be.
And the reason why I believe that, sir, is because the Constitution was not written by us. It's like a copy and paste document that is spread out throughout the British colonies. You know what I mean? Now, if Lyndon Penland and the rest of those, the so-called founding fathers, if they had sat down and written a constitution that set out self-determination, right, and set out the way we view things from our perspectives and how we view the world, etc., then that would have been different. But we had no real contribution in the writing of the Constitution. The Constitution that we have now, like I said before, is a colonial document.
But what about the caveats that afford us an opportunity for referendum?
Well, okay, you see, but those things are only as good as the leadership and the idealism that they come with. Do you understand? Like right now, what the government should do, right? Instead of having all this big talk about marijuana and trying to sort it out for the money people, right? They should bring that to a referendum, seeing that we have so many individuals in the Bahamas who they know uses the substance, right? Why they don't bring a referendum to us? And since you're talking about referendum, how difficult would it be, or would it even be possible for us, the citizens, to demand of the government that instead of them being there trying to sort out and figure out who can get paid from this marijuana thing, right, that we want a referendum, how difficult do you think it will be for us to get that referendum, and do you think they will grant us that?
The concept of, and I got to let you go. I thank you for your telephone call, my brother. My lines are lit right up, so I apologize. The concept of a referendum and whether or not we can be able to go to it has to do with agitation. You heard Leslie Murder say it. You heard other persons say that you have a responsibility to continue to agitate your government, to say that this is our requirement, this is what we want, what we identify, this is the course that we must take. When there is significant agitation, the government has no other move. They have to move based upon how the people move. Now, the reason why the PLP has seen significant defeat after the referendum as associated with the gaming referendum is because despite the position of the people, they went contrary.
They did go contrary.
And the Bahamian people, who's supposed to be good, decent Christian people, forgave them.
They forgot.
Oh, Jesus, come on, let's talk.
They felt disrespected.
Of course. If you could forgive after Obi Birchcombe, God rest his dead, right? After Obi Birchcombe could stand up in the House of Assembly and said, let the church be the church and we'll do what the government has to do. And despite the outcome of the referendum.
Yeah, that was rude.
Despite the outcome of the referendum, and these pastors still go there. Man, God, stop playing. But you can call here and cuss out minutes. It's peculiar to me. You can call here and cuss out minutes. You can call here and cuss out anyone who taken on a contrary position as the competent authority, but don't identify that this kind of authoritative position existed even in the government that you celebrate right now.
So how did you feel when Fred Mitchell mentioned that they're not really interested in the LOI, in the Freedom of Information Act, LOI?
Fred Mitchell didn't say that he wasn't interested.
What did he say?
He said that there's a philosophical difference between the FNM and the PLP. And we don't believe. And guess what? He was absolutely correct. Historically, you could look at the paper and see that the PLP doesn't believe in this particular concept and idea. They don't. They believe of being able to hoard the information and accessible to them, even in their language and posture and position. They won't provide you and say, I've done this, this is where I've gotten this particular. They don't give you citations. This is historic information. This is historic information.
And so the FNM is the one that's actually...
When Hubert Ingram came in, the concept of government in the sunshine had nothing to do with, you know what that was, government in the sunshine? That had nothing to do with the FNM fire and heat. Sunshine is transparency.
Okay.
The transparency of being able to say, this is what we have done. This is what our intention is to do. The consultation didn't come after the decision. The consultation actually happened before the decision, and based upon the position that you've taken, we've decided to go one direction or another based upon consultation.
So herein lies a fundamental difference between the PLC.
That is the fundamental difference that exists between them, and we see it today.
I just wanted you to make it clear.
We see it now.
Wanted you to make it clear.
Now I am confused.
Let your callers talk.
My God, the phone light went up. I am confused when the caller said that the Constitution is designed to be able to lead us to manipulation. That cannot be correct. That cannot be.
How would I with you? I heating you up a little bit up in here, man.
That cannot be.
Let them call us call and fall. Make me take a break.
Call on the line. Go ahead. I'm not going to fight you. Call on the line with this live. Go ahead. I'm not going to fight you. Next caller. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard. Hey, Garth.
Hey, Jeff.
Listen, very, very interesting conversation. I listened very closely to the previous caller. Previous caller hit some stuff, and I don't want those things to fly over our heads too quickly. We need to marinate them and really look at them. First and foremost, you know, I have an issue with persons who are pro-party, who seem to want to only heap praises, but we have a set of persons who are actually thinking. That previous caller is an actual thinker. He's really thinking deep inside and outside the box, and we should not dismiss him. The main fact here is simply this. You know, for those who are pro-party, they will sing praises. For those who actually analyze and dissect what's going on in some of these parties and can speak effectively from their vantage point, and not just their vantage point, but also from the caucus that they actually sit under the tree and actually have these discussions and be bold enough to come onto the airwaves and tell our government and their pundits who are actually listening to these programs to carry the message back. They need to hear the positives and the negatives. And I'm going to tell you, you talk about track record, there is a track record for the current Prime Minister.
Of course.
This Banksy situation,
of course,
whether you want to dismiss it or not, is a caveat that a lot of persons have used against. Because why? When you don't know something, why would you go into Parliament and swear that you know something when you do not know, or pretend as if you don't know? Do you know that the challenge set up forward was that, okay, well, if your friend claimed that he had insurance for Banksy, and then you had to backtrack in Parliament because, in fact, it was said that he lied to Parliament. When he said that, yes, he had insurance, but then come to find out that the man did not have insurance, what would have been the outcome? What should have been the outcome of you telling a bold lie in Parliament, whether it was in naivety or not? You were supposed to actually find out that information with accuracy before you present your case in point. My second point here that I want us to be very knowledgeable about. When you talk about true governance in this country, the previous caller alluded to the fact that referendum, when your people are involved in the process, the referendums that should come forward from the government or from the representatives in our parliament to the government, i.e. the Bahamian people, we're supposed to be afforded the right to speak on these things. You don't act on our behalf without our input. And then come to find out, when you enact these things and the public then cries out that what you have actually tried to implement is not in the best interest of the Bahamian people, and you totally ignore the voices of the people, then it simply means that true governance in its true sense is not governance at all.
Wow.
And so we have to then also look in closing that in whose best interest does your pronouncements and whose best interest that you put these things forward in Parliament, who is these things really benefiting? We are still waiting to see the benefits from all these trips that this current administration has taken, you know. And you're talking about taxpayers' money. This country is on life support. And we have yet to see any true yield from all these trips that's been taken short and immediate term. We're not talking about long term. We want to see short and immediate. Where is the benefit on the ground for we, the suffering Bahamian people that's being taxed? So the burden with taxation is so heavy that people are talking and you're still ignoring us. But anyway, I just want to put those nuggets on the table to tell you, for from this government go forward, whether it's the PLP, the FNM, or whoever else come after this party, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be critiqued with the same fervor.
I think that's what
this one is getting right now. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you saying that. You know why? Because I think that through the course of my conversations over the past week and a half with strategic persons in the Free National Movement that believe that I had a certain gripe with anyone, I don't have an opportunity to scrutinize anyone other than this. And it's not scrutinize any individual, it's scrutinize a chair. Scrutinize a position, being able to speak about the fact that there is a higher standard to be held. That's it. There's a higher standard to be held. Whether that's leadership, deputy leadership, chairman position, these three positions, what I like to call the trifecta of leadership in the organization, has a responsibility for being able to lead this organization not only forward with progression and growth and determination, but forward to a beautiful, better Bahama land. This is what needs. You can't espouse these positive contributions and aspects and ideas and so forth and so on if it ain't in you. If it ain't in you, we got to be able to say, hey, listen, we don't see these things that we're looking for in you. We don't see it in your track record. We don't see it in your position. We don't see it in your posture. We don't see it in your articulation. We don't see it in your mindset. We don't see it in your forward movement. We don't see it. And how can we possibly see it tomorrow? Where are you going to pick it up from? You don't just pick these things up. They got to be in you. And the scrutiny is trying to figure out if it's in you. And that's all I'm saying. So back to the caller before I take this break, because I got to take this break. Back to the caller. When you start to dissect whether or not people can make their contributions independently, individually, without government, without participation in governance, you got to be a part of one of the estates. I am currently a part of the fourth estate. I'm currently a part of the contribution, whether legislative, social, economic, and other aspects, to being able to identify, scrutinize, and lend opinion for the direction that the country can move in. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of the participation of that. I've always had aspirations to be able to participate in the movement of my country, whether incremental or large, however big it is.
When you do large,
I want to help move things forward. That's it. I can do it from this position, found my way at this position, or I could do it from leadership. It should not diminish my character. It should not, and if it does, then I should be ousted if ever afforded an opportunity. I don't believe that if we seek to be able to change the way that things are, that we should participate from afar off. I believe that we should get involved. That's it.
But as you go to break, Howard, remember the word character when we come back from the break. Character. Let's talk a little bit about that character, and I'll let you get to the break.
Let me take a commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. The lines are wide open. I want to thank you so much. I see you took 2 telephone calls to be able to be here. Quick commercial break, and be right back after this.
Foundation.
Let your taste buds dive into a paradise with Marco's new Tropical Jerk Pizza. Enjoy a succulent grilled chicken pizza topped with tangy pineapples, zesty banana peppers, and our signature jerk sauce. Starting at just $12.95 and available in all sizes. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Make the right choice and order one today at marcospizzabahamas.com. No one makes pizza quite like we do.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News Sales Representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation. Beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Guys, please join in the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family of Islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. Well, I just want to make 3 quick points. I totally agree with you. A lot of people feel as if, no, in order for you to make a change, you can make a dent, but in order for things to really happen, I'm sorry, you have to be in the halls of Parliament.
That's it.
Okay, because you're there where they're making the legislations and the laws. That's number 1. Number 2, when they asked you to come and host this show, did they just pick you, or what? Or did they choose you because of your record and the accomplishments and and being a radio host? See, to me, they like to use, look at Brave, look at our Prime Minister, look what he has done. What did he do? What did his record? What was his record? Exactly. Okay? And how everybody felt about how he was as a Minister of Works or how he was an MP was a microcosm of how he would treat or how he would be as a Prime Minister. So said, so done. Mm-hmm. So I think that you are supposed to look at their accomplishments.
Yes.
I like Michael Pintard personally. I just don't think that he is leadership material. I'm sorry. Because you have yet to show us, even within the F&M, what you could complete. He said that he was going to bring unity. Is there? He said that he was going to bring the donors. Has he? There were so many things that he said that he was going to do, and he has yet to do them. Okay? So I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but for the fact that people can actually say that you don't need to have accomplished anything to run a country is absurd to me. That's number 2. And number 3, I get what you're saying, and I cringed when I heard the show with Dr. Menace on Jerome Sawyer when he kept saying, I. But I guess because they always said it was Dr. Menace while he lost the election. It was him while we're here. It was him. They blamed him for absolutely everything. Okay? So when is there's a fine line between him being I, and you. Make up your mind. Okay? Because in things that you don't want to take responsibility for, you want to blame him and him only. But then things where he says, this is what I want to do. I agree, he says we, but who are the we? Okay? He's not the leader. So who is it? So one of the things I would like for people to stop saying that you do not need to have a record of accomplishments to run the country. I need to know that you can carry me through a crisis. I need to know that after 10 years of not having any sort of economic growth, that you are able to have some economic growth. I need to know that you can look at the cries and the pleas of the poor people, and you can at least start providing for them what it is that they need. And should you come back the second time, you can complete that. So that's what I have to say today.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your telephone call. I want to say something right here. When I heard her, her voice, the tone, the passion, the insight, and it came from a different place, right? That I need to know when there is a crisis that you could protect me. It was a woman's plea. And women make determinations of who they're going to love and fall in love with all the time, but never knowing the record of these particular men. But they have the discernment to identify the potential that exists in these particular men. And for the most part, us as men never truly recognize our strength until we're committed to this woman and know that we have the responsibility of protecting this woman and eventually a family. And so I say that a lot of us are not necessarily tested, tried, and proven until we go through this particular course. And so when I listen to my girl, because this is my girl who just called, when I listen to her and taking on that kind of a position, I want to know whether or not there are persons out there who've identified, despite the fact that Menace has gone through trials and tribulations, have you identified him as a person who's tested, tried, and proven and can be able to lead us through crisis, which is one portion. But the other portion is vision.
Does he have an overarching vision, a goal, an aspiration for growth for the country? Beyond the I want to complete, the I want to do this, is there an overarching goal that says this is where we're going to be in the next 5 years? Let me take this next telephone call. Caller on the line, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Brad, how are you?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
My good friend got into the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
Brad and Mr. Grant, I am not going to count minutes out until the third.
I think it would be foolish for all of us to do that. You can't count them out. We already seen this before.
I'm not going to count them out until the third because they may have to recount on the second.
On the third, you are wilding out, sir. I like that. Go ahead.
And furthermore, I would rather see Mr. Menace back as Prime Minister in this country because he owes me. He said the last time was the people.
Hold on, this sounds like another eye.
I didn't get mine. I didn't get mine. So
this sounds like another eye. I want to see him back because he owe me. You all need to stop.
I want to see him back because I didn't get my time under the people's time. Okay,
go on. This time could be for you. I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so much for that. I want to read this text right here. So he says, so the caller didn't know that Garth was the leader of a whole political organization. He says that Pintard is in the same boat as Minnis when it was the first made leader in opposition. Unproven leadership. This is heavy. Pintard is in the same boat as Minnis when he was first made leader of the opposition. Unproven leadership. So I don't understand what that caller is saying. This is a text that's coming through, right? Also, they're saying that the lady's argument made no sense. Pintard didn't have a record of running the country. Neither did Hubert Ingram or Hubert Minnis before the PM. We've seen Hubert Minnis' record, and we don't like it. This is heavy. Now, I want to say a couple of things. I might as well say, y'all put some things out there. I have to say this, God.
I'm listening.
Hubert Ingram did have a record. And it was a victorious one. That's the only reason he had the cojones to make the decision that he did. Mm-hmm. He knew he was going to get fired. He knew. He knew as a chairman of the organization that he could lead in a certain way. He knew and felt his strength. He himself, through innuendos, through the course of conversation, through the course of political, and when the media came to him, said, well, people don't, you don't tell yourself these things, People is telling you these things. And as a result of people telling him these things, he took a chance. He took a chance to go contrary to the leader's position, which was Lyndon Bindlin, and being able to bring in Sean McQueenie. Now, I just feel like this can come full circle in one day. One day out of 7, we're going to see this thing come full circle. That when Hubert Ingram took on the position to be able to support Buller, someone is going to have to take on a contrary position to what his advice is to find success thereof. Now, I don't know whether or not that will diminish his political collateral, but it'll show us that life is a circle. And people have to make decisions for themselves, what can happen for the next generation and next dispensation. Hubert Ingram has done wonders for this country during his particular time. However, now we have to identify who is going to do that wonder for us in the next generation, the next dispensation. Do we continue to lean on leadership of yesteryear, or do we look for the vision and the future for tomorrow? There's a text is coming through. Let me take a telephone call. Caller, go ahead. Caller, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to be Antoinette today and not Antonio. Okay. For the person who the texter, and understand something, this is not a plea to say to bring Dr. Menace in. I am just stating the facts.
Yeah, you are.
The texter just said Menace and Pintard is in the same boat. They're not. Menace, as a minister of health, what did he introduce? Telemedicine. That we didn't see the full benefits of it until we had COVID. He has done successful protests. Michael Pintard has not had a successful protest yet. What exactly has he done in the Ministry of Youth and Sports? And what did he do as in agriculture? And please don't use the Fisheries Act, because he met that there when he became the minister. Okay. And there were a lot of things that Menace did as a minister of health. I have asked this question over and over. I want to come in with an even playing field. Let me tell the whole Bahamas a secret. I could vote in the United States. Me, as a black woman, did not vote for Barack Obama the first time. You know why? Because his record was horrible as a senator.
So you vote on record.
I vote on record because you know why? When I sat back and I did my research and I saw what John McCain did to partner with Bill Clinton to get things that me as a black woman can benefit from, and he collaborated, he was the better candidate.
That's heavy what you're saying. John McCain's record, the foundational record that had propelled him significantly, is his record as a prisoner of war. A lot of persons have identified that. A lot of persons have been able to do those particular things.
The fact that his arm was that way, because of how they had his arm up in the air, tied up for weeks, he had an opportunity.
You let it go. I'm not gonna fight you. Somebody texts and says she voted for Sarah Palin. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. Listen, this is a text. I don't know. That's my girl. So I don't know if the phone dropped. Please forgive me. Let me take a next telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead. Next caller on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Howard?
Hey, what's up, Anton?
Everything cool. You got God in there with you?
Yeah, God right here.
Hey, God, what's going on?
Well, I was waiting for this call. Go ahead. I'm here, my brother.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good day to you.
I saw some of that activity. What's going on the weekend, Howard?
Yeah. We had a good time.
Boy, like Howard.
Yeah, you called me.
You look like you was in another zone, though.
Howard was
I was
happy.
right there.
He was happy. He was very, very happy.
Howard looked like he was staring into space but talking to the people next to him.
Well, he was formulating.
That's how I focus though, because I got to remember. So I can't look at you. I got to remember where we're coming from to be able to talk about these things.
Well, I don't know what conversation you had with the former prime minister, but I thought that there was a missed opportunity having had him out there to the fair.
No, he wasn't out there. Thomas had already. Thomas, we packed up. That's exactly when he showed up.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
your people had, I guess, other obligations.
Yeah, they had.
But nonetheless, for the first time in almost 3 years, Howard and God and the nation, frankly speaking, I'm seeing life inside the F&M organization.
This is heavy what you're saying, and that's the truth.
That is correct.
For the first time in almost 3 years, I am seeing a level of competitiveness,
attractiveness
within the F&M.
Mm-hmm.
And it took for Minnis stepping into the ring, former PM Minnis stepping into the ring, in order to bring that life.
This is what we said to Dwayne Sines. This is what we said to Michael Pintar. This is what we said to them on the weekend. For some reason, with the introduction of this convention, everyone found the fire.
Right.
Found their fire and their passion.
And as a result, I am seeing an ignition within the F&M.
Mm-hmm.
A fire
you said that.
in the F&M
that's true.
I didn't see before, and because the fire was so dull, it wasn't serving good for national politics, national governance, and everything else that goes along with the benefits of having a vibrant opposition. And so, just based on that fact alone, I believe that former Prime Minister Minnis has done something for the F&M that no one else other than Minnis was able to get done.
So what you're saying, this is his contribution to unification. This is how he unifies.
And so.
That's heavy.
Funny thing about it, right? I am, clearly, we all know I'm not an F&M, right? But
I think we know by now.
I'm a student of politics, and I believe that we ought to use these opportunities to make our contribution towards the outcome of national politics in our country, because these are the only mediums that we have available to us currently where we can participate, right? Even if not as a delegate, we still get to participate, right? And I believe that the country is not finished with Minnis. I honestly believe the country is not finished with Menace. I don't know what the egos are inside of the F&M organization, but from the outside looking in, I believe if y'all can line up your ducks in a row.
68 people can call me right now.
Pardon me?
68 people can call me right now and say that this is a course that the PLP is taking. That you know that that victory is inevitable if Menace sits in this particular seat as leader of the Free National Movement.
That is as far from the truth.
They can tell me that. That's what they've said. They've been saying that.
Howard, that is as far from the truth as the sun is from the moon. That is as far from the truth as the sun is from the moon. Anyone who holds that view does not understand national politics, does not understand the gravity of the accomplishments of their former prime minister, with the nation's former prime minister, but the F&M former prime minister, and what he was able to accomplish, even creating his separation and standing on his own 2 feet. Which in I land right here, Howard. If I took 1 page out of Menace's book, right, it would be this. Tell me, Howard. Tell me, what in the world would cause you to go against a man who is giving you the sun, the moon, and the stars in business and in access to the treasury in the country to the tune of $500 million? What would cause you to go against a man who may have seek to hold his integrity to the point where he had to ask for some resignation and now they get to deal some payback? What, Howard, at the end of the day, I did not see the numbers in that room, and based on the activity of the national chairman and based on the reports that's going on with the elections that they're seeking to hold, that all of these are indicators that they are not sure in their position. However, what is more important is how you conduct yourself while you are at the helm. How you conduct yourself while you are at the helm is what is going to make or break you as a leader.
You perceive it to be untoward. You're gone.
Yes.
He gone. So it seems as though he precedes this kind of a posture that exists within the Free National Movement and the allegations that surround it to be untoward. We're going to have, we've spoken to the leader about this. We've spoken to Dr. Menace about this. We've spoken to the deputy leader about this. We've spoken to the chairman about this. And this week, we're going to stretch this thing out far and wide to find out exactly where it is and continue to be able to talk about these things. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to do these things and have a good conversation with you. She says, Anton and the PLP really want Menace to win, boy. I say, I wonder why. LOL, this is a text is coming through. So Menace's, so I know Menace's record, and I know I don't want that, right? This is a separate issue on the party system. It does not need to change. They give us lackluster people, non-leadership material, people who can't read a number, 7 digits. My God, you pulled me into that. You need to stop. People who are looking to see how much shingles they can get. That's, sorry, ma'am, sir. Did you say politics or did you say the Free National Movement? Oh, you say politics in general. Okay, no problem. Right? Menace made an uninformed, uneducated decision. 1 woman and 2 men who really, really, really believe in you. Who cut in? So anyways, the next is coming through. I say, says Howard, is Anton paid to come on and do this nonsense? He wants Menace to win. Now Anton's stretching other things. He says, Howard, this is hilarious. All of these PLPs are pushing for Menace re-elected because they are afraid an ununified F&M under the leadership of Michael Pinton is going to head with an old 75-year-old man to be re-elected, tried, uninspiring Brave Davis, who has nothing, absolutely nothing to offer. It's a text is coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live and in full effect. Grateful to be in your company tomorrow. We're going to have Ellsworth Johnson coming for the second hour to be able to talk with you. We are live all week. I'm grateful that you guys are tuning in. Again, the show is brought to you by Ellsworth Johnson for chairman and re-elect Dwayne Sands as chairman of the Free National Movement. Guys, grateful to be able to have good conversations with you. We're going to see you tomorrow right here, God spare, 12 o'clock to 2 on The Foundation, 96.9 FM. Garth, my brother, they're going to see you again. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.